Mauro Borelli here, director of Mind Cage, which is coming out at theaters and video on demand December 16th and physical release in early next year. For people not aware yet, what is Mind Cage about?
There's a combination of detective story with the film noir-esque feeling that combine fine art and the supernatural, I would say.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And now I watched it and I really liked it. And we don't see Martin Lawrence in a lot of dramatic roles. What made him right for this role, do you think? When he came aboard, I was also surprised, I have to be honest with you, because it was a decision initially made by the producer. And when he told me, I was like, I was a little bit like, because I didn't think about that because I know him as a comedian. And he said, well, talk to him. And so we had a Zoom talk with Stacey and his team and him. And I remember this beautiful, warm voice, for me, I go a lot by voice, I think that, sometimes you can listen, somebody talking, if he's right just by the voice. And I thought he has the warm, calm tone that I need for this character. And then I went from there. And he was so committed to challenging himself because I like challenge too, So if I feel the worst things you can do in a movie is you are challenging yourself and nobody else care around you. Mm-hmm. That can be destructive. So, but he was into the same, thing. So, so it came to Arkansas and prepared himself very well. He probably was aware of his nature of comedian that can come out anytime. So he controlled that a little bit. So in order to do that, I think he just stayed in character. I think I remember him outside motorhome or walking from, sometimes you expect to see Martin Lawrence, right? Even when he's outside, say, okay, now cut, and then Martin Lawrence say a joke. No, he kind of go away with his head. But I think he was taking very seriously. He want to be in character. He want to be that guy, He want to be. So only a couple of times we had a little between takes, a little moment where I saw his eyes opening, and it's like, oh my God, he's it, that guy, Yeah. But for the rest, he stayed in character all the time. I think that was his secret for his approach. Yeah. So what's the difference then between directing someone like Martin Lawrence, who he's got a lot of experience, but maybe not in this genre, and someone like John Malkovich, who also has a lot of experience, but a lot more in dramatic roles?
Well, John is a pleasure to work because you can, as a director, you can concentrate on the visual, of the camera. You don't have to worry about the actor. It's he's also a guy that prepare himself very well and can memorize 5 pages, no problem. And then if you see a line that he thinks is wrong, he write down a little note and he come to you and say, what do you think about? And always his comments are on the point. And sometimes he was spending 1 hour going through even more with Melissa to go through line. And he's a guy that basically is so skilled that he can do. I see when an actor using technique, like a theater technique, and when he can use method acting, right? Mm-hmm. Or so he get into the moment, he feel the moment, and he's himself in the moment, and then he slip out of that. He use the technique, so he can go in and out from technique and method acting as he wants. It's and if you ask him to do something different, he can do some people you ask to do something different and 3 times and they do the same thing. I say, I don't see much difference. Okay, cut, that's fine. No, he does everything. He's he's a theater guy. He's a guy that
And that prison cell was built, and I'm proud of that prison cell, how it came out. I don't know if you noticed that he has a dress red, a red uniform, no orange, red, and all the cell is green around him. And then when she come in, all the background of her is red, the same color of his shirt, and she's in green. So it's almost like he's hell inside the green, and she's the angel inside the hell. Sometimes things like that, they don't need to be explained, but they work in a subconscious.
Right. Even just the contrast, I think, adds something to it. Yeah. How about their chemistry together, Melissa and John?
Melissa was the last one to came aboard on the film. And we were in preparation. I was a week before shooting, and I was tortured by not having the actress. And my fear is that when you don't have an actress and so important for the role, and then you have to shoot, you're going to find the first one that come in, and then maybe you make a mistake. So I was terrorized about that, because I knew this character needed to have two fundamental quality. One, she needed to be authoritarian, leader, leading an investigation, believable as a policeman, somebody that can arrest you and you don't, but at the same time, she has to be fragile like a child. And not easy to find somebody with those two. And sometimes it's the face doesn't inspire fragility, or maybe the opposite. And she had the perfect face. And she can, in a second, she can let the tear going down, and she's so fragile. At the same time, you don't play a game with her. She can shoot.
Yeah. You mentioned that John Malkovich character is in prison. Is that what do you do to kind of still keep him feel dangerous, even though we know he's behind bars?
I think is the manipulation that he used. When somebody use verbal manipulation, become very dangerous. And I think John knew that was the key for his character, and he does with the perfect timing on his acting. Like sometimes he doesn't let her finish the thing and he jump in. He has a perfect timing. So that's, those dialogue will lose 50% of their power if there was not somebody that can do that.
Right. How about creating the displays for the victims? They're very elaborate, and so how are they storyboarded art? Do you draw pictures of them first, or how do you go about designing those?
I draw sketches. They were not complete illustration. They were more sketches, because I know when you do this type of budget of movie that is not like a studio, and you have to be able to change idea. So if I do a very complete illustration, then I cannot change idea, because it's like I put on my head. So I do loose, so I can change. And so I had drawing that combine three elements. Art direction element, for example, the cross that has to be built for the angel in the church. Then there is a prosthetic and makeup, which is like the wings and the crown or the nail, and then the costume. So, and I gave the same copy of the drawing to three different departments, and Chintamani did the wings and the prosthetic. Nava did the building, and we have this Polish costume person that Katarzyna, that she's an artist, and she does all this kind of music video, weird costume with trees and roots and stuff, and weird metal stuff. So we kind of, we try to combine those three elements in there. Yeah.
No, they look awesome. And I'm also glad that you show his lair, because sometimes you think, well, how does a guy make these giant elaborate things, right there in 2 minutes? But you show his lair, that he's actually creating these, taking time to put the art together. And how about designing his lair?
Designing the
layer where the killer lives and does his work.
Now we go. Okay, so let me tell you, that was under a courthouse, a basement of a courthouse.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and when we shot that, the limitation of time, I shot the scene where, and I can spoil the thing, but there's something happening there, which is the dark side of the killer, and then we had to wrap. So I'm lucky that in my house in Los Angeles, one of the few houses that has a basement, a walk-in basement, that similar to that place. So with my friend, my friend DP, we came in and I start to do all the little details, like the little drop of blood and stuff. So part of that was done in post in my basement.
Oh, very cool. So Mind Cage, December 16th on Video Demand and select theaters, which I think will be very cool to see in the theater. I think is always the best way to see a movie when possible. And then physical release early next year. It was very cool to talk with you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you. Ciao.
Yeah, bye.
I'm slipping out. I'm moving in. I'm tripping out. I'm losing it. I'm gonna find out sometime what's beneath your skin. Unzip yourself. Hang up to dry. 2 minutes out. 2 years gone by. You are the only non-believer. No reason why. Slip out yourself. Your heart could plant the tree. Adopt a shell, become the air you breathe. You're staring at the sharing end of my AR-15. You've been so violent for all this time. You play the piano and the violin, viola chimes. Yet here you stand accused of sound abuse. You lost your mind, you must have thrown it down a garbage chute. But please don't let me go. Please don't let me go. Please don't do me wrong. All sound please wrong. Please don't let me go. Underneath the ground. I'm slipping out. I'm moving in. I'm tripping out. I'm losing it. I'm gonna find out sometime what's beneath your skin. My body, my body, my body, my mind, my mind, 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 my body, my body, my mind, my body, my body, my mind, my mind, my body, my body.